Hello, this is Fred Allendale, your friendly scripter again with another tutorial on the VRDz Event Staffing Board. So like anything in Second Life that you spend a lot of time entering data into, you want to make sure that you have it backed up in case things go wrong, because they often do in Second Life. You might accidentally delete the board or some other sort of system disaster. And you want a way to be able to restore it. Well, the easiest way, which doesn't require very much effort, is just to right-click on the board, click on More, and click on Take Copy. And that just takes a copy of the board as it sits with all the data loaded into your inventory in your Objects folder. So when you re-res that board, it'll have all the same information. So that's just a quick way to do a periodic backup. But the board also has a much more flexible and powerful import and export capability. So you can export your contents to note cards. You can re-import them from note cards either identically or to go in and manually edit those note cards to change some things so it reloads different data. So we'll go over the import and export functions now. So when you want to export either the event list or the staff list, you click on the background of the board, click on the list that you want to export, and then click on the export button. And you'll see down here everything is exported. I don't have very many staff people listed right now, so you can see there's only two right now, my Alt Freddy Furlow and myself. So you would make a note card, copy and paste this to a note card by highlighting it, hitting Control-C, then opening up a folder in your inventory, creating a new note card named Staff List, and then simply paste that whole block of data into the note card and save it. When you re-import that note card in the future, it will ignore all of the header information and anything that doesn't start with this staff keyword. So you don't need to do any special processing. You just copy to a note card and it's ready to import in that exact format. Likewise, you can do the same thing with the event list. Click on event list, click on export, and off it goes. Takes a little bit longer because there's more information there. Expand this out a little bit so it's easier to read and grab. Again, do the same thing to copy it to a note card. Just go find the end of it and then find the beginning of it, and it'll capture the date and time that it was exported. Copy that to your clipboard using Control-C. Back over here to your inventory and create a new note card, and we'll name this one Event List. All right, and then we'll paste that block of data in there and save the note card. And now you have a backup on two note cards of all of the detailed information that you've painstakingly loaded into the board. And just to show how that works, we can go in here and I'll clear out the event list. It's just, let's say something bad happened and we just accidentally or maybe intentionally cleared the event list out. If you do select clear event list, it gives you a second chance here telling you that it will completely erase your data. So I'm going to go ahead and erase the data. And then I'm going to drop the new event list into the board. I need to wait until it's finished initializing right now. And then we'll open the board up. to the inventory, and I can just drag this event list into my inventory. Once again, the board's initializing. If I try and do something while it's initializing, it'll tell me that the board is in use, so please try again later. It takes a few seconds to read that configuration note card just to make sure nothing has changed. All right, and then we'll click on the board again, click on event list, and this time we'll click on import, and it will be importing the events from the event list. And there we go. They're all loaded up just as it was before. So that's the simple way to export and import your event list and your staff list to note cards. So now let's say rather than entering all this event data from the menus like we went over in the first few tutorials, which I do recommend you do as a starting point because it's very intuitive and it prompts you through every step and does a lot of error checking as you go through it. However, if you want to create and load all this information from scratch, or maybe just modify some of it, you can do that by editing the note cards before you import them. So let's, for example, open the staff list. So in order to properly edit this, you need to understand the format. And down here in the owner admin help note card, there is a fairly extensive section closer to the end on export and import formats. And this will give you a detailed description of what the formats are, what the restrictions are, and so then some examples of both the import and the export formats. So you can, if you really want to do that, I'd recommend that you study that pretty carefully before you start trying to compose your own note cards, because the format, like anything that's read by a computer, has to be very specific. And if you start deviating from it, you're going to not get good results. So it's important to adhere to the format restrictions very precisely. So we'll just take a quick look at the staff list format. It's pretty simple. You can ignore the top line here. I'll get rid of that. The bottom line, those are really just comments. It'll also ignore blank lines. So these are the only two lines here for the two staff members that I've entered. Now, if you have a lot of staff members, obviously this is going to be a much longer list. So the format, you don't need, if you're composing this from scratch, you don't need this header information either. However, the import function will ignore that if it was there as a result of doing an export. So I'll just kind of, to get this down to the bare minimum, I'll just delete those functions. So this is what you'd actually have to enter if you were entering your information from scratch. So each line, staff line, has to start with the term pound, staff, pound. That's how it filters out all the other extraneous information that might be in the note card. And then it's just the name of the staff person. This is either a 1 or a 0 for the opt-in, opt-out flag. So that's, we covered that in one of the previous tutorials. That's so people can decide whether or not to receive staffing request instant messages. And then the roles that that particular person is qualified for. In this case, it's a manager, a host, and a dancer. And these roles must conform to the list of roles that are on the configuration note card. It will not import a role that doesn't exist on that note card. And then the second person here, myself, is again the name, the opt-in flag, and the comma-separated list of roles. So it's a pretty simple format, and I'll go ahead and just save that one. The event list format is a bit more complicated for a variety of reasons that are discussed in a lot of detail in the help note card. Basically, it's the same though in terms of doesn't need to have these headers, but if you've exported it, they'll be there, and the importer will ignore those. Again, the starting line and the ending line are arbitrary. They don't need to be there. They'll get ignored by the importer as well. So each event is basically broken into two types of records. There are event records and there are role records. And so the event record, you can see we have 4 events in our board, and there are 4 event records in this file. And the individual event record has the ID number, the starting date and time, the duration, the name of the event, the region it's in, and the coordinates that it's at, and the repeat count. In this case, this one repeats every 7 days. And in this case, rather than commas, it requires these pipe characters to separate each field. So there's a pipe character between each field of the event record. And then associated with event records is one or more role records, and there's a role record for each person or each role required by that event, and also includes the list of people that have signed up for that role. So for example, here there's a role record. It includes the same event ID, and that's how the importer will be able to tie a given role to that particular event. You can see down here there's other roles that have different ID numbers that tie to a different event. And this is kind of important because these, when you export something, they may not export in the exact order that you read them out of memory due to delays in the infrastructure of Second Life. So this role record you see here actually came out before the event, whereas in this case, the second event came out and then the role record followed it. So you can't guarantee whether the role record or its corresponding event will be in the same order. So they're tied together using this ID number. In the case of event records and role records that have been created through the export function, it will have the event ID corresponding to what's been stored internally in the board. And those are assigned automatically as you define new events. If you, on the other hand, are trying to create a list that you want to import into the board that wasn't exported from the board, then you will need to create an event ID number for the event and its associated roles that is a number that's less than 1,000. And so it might be starting with 0001 and 002 if you have a second event. Any items that have event IDs below 1,000 will be added to whatever list is in the board. If you have an event ID that is greater than 1,000, it will first look to see if there's already an event in the board that matches that event ID, and if so, it won't add it as a new event, but it will update any fields that you've specified here that are different from the field information that's already stored there. So if you want to modify an item, basically, you can use its existing event ID and change whatever parameters that you want here, the name or something else, and it will alter only the parameters that are different in that existing record. If, on the other hand, you've entered an ID that is greater than 1,000 and it doesn't find a matching record already in there, then it will add it as a new event and new associated roles. So that covers, I think, the basics of how the format works for entering new information, either into or restoring old information, either into the event list or the staff list. Again, this format is pretty rigid, and therefore you do need to spend some time studying the note card that has the details of the formats, and maybe do even some experimentation with an extra board until you feel comfortable on how to enter that information. So in this tutorial, we've covered how to do simple backups using Take Copy, and also how to do exports and imports of your existing files just by copying to note cards and restoring or importing from the note cards. And then a little bit about how to actually enter new events or modified event information by editing the note cards and then before you import them. And that can be a little more confusing, but I think it's well worth your time to investigate doing that. It may save you time versus entering things via the menu. But that's up to you how you use it. Be sure to read the Owner Admin Help Note Card section on exporting and importing before you attempt to do that. Well, thank you for listening, and check out the other tutorials if you haven't done so already, and we hope you enjoy your event staffing board. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.